Hello everyone. Today we are looking at my housefly in Unreal Engine. So there's a good look at him with hair, and I have another version here which has no hair, so a little less, a lot less polygons. So if you want to use either one, you can. Right now we're in a scene with all the different fly animations here. Of course, we have flying and then some idling animations, takeoff, landing, turning left, right, and walking. All right, we can get out of this and look at the folders. We have an animation folder we'll look at in a minute. We have a blueprint folder, which is kind of like a drag and drop system where you can drag and drop the NPC into your game or scene, and it has a bunch of functionality that you can alter. But we'll look at that at the end. We have the maps. We have an AI map. So that's showing off the NPC fly, and we have this animation map. For materials, we have two different materials. One is an alpha, one is not alpha, I think, for the materials, PBR materials. So one is for the wings, one is for the body. And then we have the mesh, which we have a hair version of the mesh, and then the normal housefly with no hairs. We have a physics model. It's just a basic physics model. I guess I could make this better. Probably on the next update I will make a better physics model for this. Then we, of course, have a skeleton for it. If we show the skeleton, bones, let's see, all hierarchy. So there we go, the skeleton for it. And what else? Textures. So we have a couple metalness map, because the texture on a fly looks a little bit like metal, so we have a little bit of metalness in there, with a roughness map, and then a normal map and a base color for it. Now, jumping into the animations, let's look at these individually. We have a blend space that is used in the NPC system, so there is a blend space all set up where it moves from walking, from running or walking, to idling, to turning. And then we have dead animation. We can preview this with hair instead. We can do that. Looks a little bit better with hair. And then falling, if it falls out of the sky, dead. And then the death on the ground. Then we have a flying animation, of course. Flying fast. Hovering. Idle. Idle on the ground. Idle 2, it's kind of licking up things. It's cleaning itself. Idle 4. Landing. Taking off. Turning animation, turning right, and then a walking animation. All right, we can dive into the blueprints here. Let's go to the AI map. All right, and we have a few flies with their splines in the air. I'll show you real quickly. We can go to blueprints, and if I just want to throw down another NPC fly, I can just throw them down like this, And he's in the scene, and I can even rotate him around, maybe so he is near the other ones. And I'll just play the scene, and we can take a look at. They're really small, but of course they're flies. This one's on the ground, kind of grooming himself, but I can walk up to it and make it fly away. Why does it? Oh, I just bumped it and killed it. Do I have sight off, maybe? See, that one saw me and flew away. So it's flying on a path, a spline that you have set up, or I have set up. And I'll give you a quick look at that. Let's look at the hair version. If you go into the blueprint for it, now let me show you, there's a few different blueprints. This is the original blueprint for the housefly, and there's a hair version of that. Then we have the NPC blueprint. Okay? And that one has the whole setup for all the different points that it can fly between. And if you go into the viewport view, excuse me, we can see all the different parts that are in this. There's a landing point. There's a branch landing point, so you can land on something. And then we have the spline up here, which is a path that the fly flies around. And you can alter those inside of this NPC blueprint here. Okay, so I can just select one of these points and just start moving it around to whatever kind of path that you need. I mean, it's kind of fun thinking up all the different options you would need for each animal or whatever. And then when you get to a landing point, when it lands on the ground, or it could be a surface, a picnic table surface, as long as it has nav mesh information on it, as long as they can walk on that surface, if you put the landing point there, they'll just roam around that surface like they would on a normal picnic table. Or you can use this branch landing point to land on a shelf or on somebody's head or on an NPC's head or something like that. You know, anything. But then the important part is kind of the path that you can alter. And you can also alter it in world, of course. You can alter the path in world, but you don't, who knows how that applies to all the different other flies that you have. If you want them all doing the same thing, then you want to alter the NPC version, this version in the viewport. Okay, if you want them all to be the same thing. But it gives you a lot of different options, and then in world you can just take this branch point and move it around to wherever you need it to be. On a branch or in a tree or on a picnic table, you can change your landing point to whatever you want it to be. And then they'll go to those points when the system tells them to. And you can alter that system also. So if we go into the main blueprint, we'll go to the hair version of it. You can change different things. See, I have sight off on the hair versions, so I should change that. And then you can turn deaths off, because if you collide with them or they collide with something in the air, then they could die and fall to the ground. You could turn landing off so it never lands. Branch off so it never goes to that branch option. You could make it fly only. All you want it to do is fly around. So those are options that you can set in the main blueprint of everything. of each of the flies. So this one and this one. And then the NPC versions are the ones with all the different parts and landing points and everything. All right, so that's a look at my fly in Unreal Engine and its AI system. Have a good one, everyone.